What is blackness? Colorism. When you look at these two people, Kendrick and Drake, beefing, let's dig a little bit deeper from a therapist perspective. If you are new here, I am Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I work with a lot of clients who are trying to figure out, where do I fit in? My black side, my white side. I have been told that I talk too black. I've been told that I don't show up black. Okay, I talk too white. And when you look at these two brothers, icons, rappers, whatever you want to look at them as, there are two men fighting to be seen. Okay, and you have Kendrick, who is pro-black, and you have Drake, on the other hand, who is biracial. And as a therapist, I am wondering at times, do we have to pick a side? Okay, because the war that they have ongoing between these two, at the end of the day, a lot of rappers rap about stuff that ain't true. A lot of them are cosplaying. A lot of them are perpetuating words, lyrics, a lifestyle that does not exist. But now it seems like the role of blackness, colorism, comes into play. Some people might feel like Drake has light skin privilege, and some people might feel like if Kendrick is so pro-black, why is he going after another black man? I don't know. And so when you look at both of these sides and you think about, does it really matter? Okay, and I think in some aspects it does, because people feel like Drake has weaponized and used a lot of the black culture to come up, to pivot, to be where he is today. Because when you really look at it, when I look at his career from the beginning to now, I have often wondered, what was it that took him from there to here? Because you see two different people. You see him at the beginning being a little bit nerdy, more of an outcast, not fitting the archetype of a rapper, of hip hop. But then somewhere along the way, we got to this Drake who has braids, abs, who fits more of an archetype at times of what rap is, what culture and hip hop is, depending on who you ask. Because some people might feel like he represents the culture, whereas other people be like, Drake, the culture? No way. But it comes to mind that we live in a very polarized society. I say in a lot of my videos, there's not a lot of gray anymore. And when you look at the beef, it's about blackness. It really is, and how both people show up differently. Because some people feel like Kendrick is really the epitome of blackness. But then there can be an argument of, if he is so pro-black, why is he going after another black man? And so you look at these two people, both icons, depending on who you ask, rappers, but it comes down to who benefits from the culture. Should people from the outside benefit from the black culture and use it to be an instrument in pivoting their careers? And who do they let in? Okay, it shows you also how, not comparing the two, but an example, okay, so don't come at me in the comments, that people have been feeling a certain way for quite some time. And all it takes is one person who has power, dominance, to say the things that people have been thinking. Now, when you look at Donald Trump, okay, for a very long time, I think people have been feeling these racist thoughts, feelings, actions. And all it took for a man with power, Trump, to use his platform as president to have this rhetoric. These racist, are they even undertones? I think they are overtones, okay? He has not held or hid that he is anti whatever ain't white, okay? And so now when you look at him and you look at Kendrick, you see that people have been having these feelings and thoughts for quite some time, but once these two people said it out loud, publicly, I feel that way too. And so now you have these actions, these words, and people who don't have the right mind can use it detrimentally. And so most recent, we saw there was a shooting, okay? It's all starting to unfold a little bit deeper than a beef. Now people getting shot, showing up at people's houses. And when you have platforms and you use your voice in those platforms to at times take shots at other people, people on the outside who have parasocial relationships with those figures take those words and they run with it. And you have a community of people on the internet behind them keyboards who are not stable. Okay, and so you have now people who are like, oh, I've been feeling this way. And it leads into, once again, we're in a society where people who are of color on one side and people who are white on another side. And from an outside perspective, people who are not within the culture are looking at these two black men beef. And at times it becomes, is our society, is our culture a monolith? Do they represent all of us, our aspects of us? And it goes into play about blackness. And a little bit, to me, of a slave mentality that we're always going to be against each other. Darkness, lightness, light skin privilege, slave mentality. We're always going to be fighting and pivoting against one another. And so people are focused on the words, people are focused on the lyrics, the beef. But the deeper thing is how you show up in the world will always be a factor. Okay? And people are fighting to be seen. People want to feel a part of something. And I think for me as a therapist, I look at Drake and I feel like he was on the outside of the culture, living in Canada, having a mom who I think is Jewish, I believe. How many black friends did he have? Okay, when you look at his career from the beginning to where it is now, I'm very curious about the evolution of Drake. How did he go from that image in the beginning to where he is now? To me, it doesn't make sense. And I want to know, where was it in his career that he started focusing more on becoming the image that we see today? In some people's eyes, the archetype of a rapper, hip hop, but does he represent those things behind the scenes? And according to these lyrics, he does not. And it shows how, at the end of the day, to a lot of people, especially in the culture, blackness does matter. And in the culture, do we let in people who are not black? Are they ostracized? Are they accepted in some ways, but not wholly? And do people often eventually push you out? Because I don't know about the things that happen behind the scenes, the things that Drake has said, done, the people who he has been with, but those oftentimes, those little things that we don't know about have affected the relationship. Because for so long, everybody was on a Drake feature. Everybody was in the party, everybody was doing it, everybody was on it. But now it's like, oh, you can go. And I'm wondering if people have been feeling like this for quite so long, but it wasn't until Kendrick, Metro Boomin, Future, all those people decided, hey, we gonna pull back the rug. We're tired of protecting. Was it protecting? I'm not quite sure, but it shows you just how at the end of the day, there's always gonna be constantly a fight, okay? A fight. Eventually people get tired of you. And I'm not saying like everyone, maybe I shouldn't say that, but it does feel like at times we accepted you for so long, but now we're tired of you, okay? You were never one of us, okay? We were just playing along. So were they lying just as much as Drake is lying about his image? But it just shows how blackness, colorism still exists in so many atmospheres and so many, the diaspora of what color you are, tone, the privilege you have, the circles you find yourself in. Do you really fit in? And what are you willing to do to fit in? Okay? Now, I know this is not going to be the end of the beef. It's going to be ongoing, because what happens when you go against someone who apparently has time and nothing to lose? This is what you get. But do you guys think that Drake's career is over? Can he come back from this? I want to know your thoughts. And is colorism a big part of this feud? Now, I'm Denise Brady. I have things to do, people to see, clients to heal. So make sure you like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts on this here video. Bye.